Hey everybody! So in this video, we are going to be going in depth about age sliders, what an age slider is, why age sliding happens, and just the overall gist of how exactly age sliding works. This video was requested by Nia, who is a member of another DID system, and we hope that you find it helpful, Nia, and anybody else out there who wants to learn about age sliders, we hope you guys find it helpful too. So let's start with what is an age slider. An age slider is a member of a system who moves between one age and another through a range of ages. For example, we have a system member, Allie, who slides from the ages of 3 to 11. So she can be any age from 3 all the way up to 11 and anywhere in between. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, why does this happen? Well, as a general rule, the age that an age slider is at is dependent upon what triggers they are currently experiencing, whether positive or negative, and what memories may have been brought up by them. So, for instance, say an individual who age slides hears a noise, and this noise reminds them of a particular memory, or a particular event, or a particular time. Their age can then slide to match up with the age they would have been during that event. For a positive example, let's say a birthday party, and you hear a particular song, and this song brings up all kinds of memories of when you were 10. For an age slider, these memories coming up very well might mean that they will move from whatever age they are currently at to the age of 10, if that is within their range. And this can be very scary, it can be very difficult, it can be very unpleasant for the person experiencing it because it's not something that's within their control. And that's something that I want to stress. Just like with anything else in DID, it's not something that you can wave a magic wand or do a certain thing and you suddenly have control over it. It is a response that has been built up as a defense mechanism, just like the dissociation itself. And the only thing that's really ever going to make it more manageable is time, therapy, and hard work. Now, every system member is different, so the way they experience their age sliding is going to be different. Some may actually really enjoy sliding ages. Others may find it incredibly unpleasant, and everything in between. But for a lot of people, when they're first figuring out that they slide ages, it's very, very scary, at least according to what Allie has said and what others who I've spoken with have said also. And overall, age sliding is a difficult thing for a lot of people to understand. But a good example is, think about when you, as a person, see something that reminds you of when you were a kid, and you're suddenly flooded with nostalgia, and you are remembering all of these memories of your childhood, okay? And you feel those feelings that you felt at the time as a kid. Well, for an age slider, not only do they experience the memory and the feelings, but they change ages to move to the age they were at the time. So instead of it just being a fleeting moment of feeling that childlike wonder or fear or whatever it was, depending on the event, they become that age and experience life as someone that age for however long they stay in that particular age. Now, understand that age sliders are almost always, in our experience, system members who have dealt with significant traumatic events. And more often than not, it is a trauma-based memory or trigger that causes them to slide ages. This is not always the case, but it is a good portion of the time. So never ever under any circumstance should you attempt to trigger someone to slide ages, just like you would never attempt to trigger someone to dissociate or to switch between system members without their permission. Only ever do this with permission. Otherwise, don't. Because you can cause a lot of problems and a lot of residual trauma stuff to come up, and you could also end up inadvertently re-traumatizing the person. Just don't do it. It's not okay. It's not consensual. It's not alright. Now, as for why age sliders exist, based on everything that we have read, the prevailing theory that we've seen is that age sliders exist because they can compartmentalize the traumatic events or memories and exist in those moments so that nobody else has to carry them around. And other times, age sliding also happens because there is a mistaken belief that if they relive the event over and over again, that nothing like that will ever happen again. If that is the cause of the age sliding, then that is definitely something that's going to have to be worked on in therapy. For Allie, for instance, that is a big cause of her age sliding, is consistent flashbacks and reliving trauma. And that's why we've worked very, very hard to have her be able to co-front in the body, even if she's not the one doing the speaking, or the looking even necessarily, but just sitting in the body so that she's not constantly experiencing those flashbacks. But we do eventually hope to have another option so that she can enjoy her existence in the internal world more freely like the others can. Now, another thing that I'm sure some of you are probably wondering is, why do some system members age slide and others don't? And as for that, I don't know a definitive answer. I don't know if anyone knows a definitive answer. I've not found any research that gives any specific definitive "this is why." But my personal theory, based on what I've heard from other people, is that some system members slide ages and others don't, because in some cases it was felt that that flexibility in age was needed to protect the system. Just like any other member of the system, it's a protective measure. That is what my theory is, based on everything that I've heard from others. It's a protective mechanism designed to help protect the system. Does it always work? No. Can it become maladaptive? Yes. But with therapy and work, even people who are experiencing maladaptive age sliding can get to a point where they're no longer continuously traumatized. And that is a very important step in finding healing, is being able to process the trauma instead of consistently reliving it. For those who age slide and are not stuck in their traumatic moments, it can be more often a positive thing or even a neutral thing for them. But for those who get stuck in their trauma, it's definitely a very difficult experience. And another thing that we wanted to cover is that more often than not, though not always, age sliders will experience some level of amnesia, be it partial or complete, of the events when they slide ages. So, say for instance, you have a system member who is 8, and they suddenly slide down to 3. They may not have any memory whatsoever of their actions while they are little. They may not have any memory of what was going on or what they were doing. Or conversely, they might have some memory but not all of it. And there are, of course, age sliders who do retain all of their memory. It's very dependent on the individual system member. But the point is that it's not uncommon for age sliders to experience amnesia, and this is also a protective mechanism. By sliding down or sliding up, depending on which direction they need to go, to deal with the event, whether traumatic or not, the person is able to compartmentalize that experience a lot more distinctly without the necessity of a split. So an age slider can compartmentalize certain experiences at different ages instead of having different individuals handle each experience. So it can be a very valuable function in the system to keep that system member safe and functional. So for anyone out there who is dealing with age sliding for the first time and is concerned, you are not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. Age sliding is perfectly normal. It's just the way that you happen to be, and there is nothing wrong with that. And with work in therapy, you can get to a point where it is a lot more manageable and where it's no longer being triggered consistently when you don't want to slide. Because the end goal of any therapy with DID is to process the trauma so that you can move past it. And you will have to discover how that works best for you, because every individual system is different. But overall, that is the goal. So you're not alone. You are valid, and there is nothing wrong with you. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Have a good day, everybody.